What's up, y'all? And today we are talking about real leadership being exposed, okay? Now, leadership is not a job title, okay? Leadership is not a position. You don't quote get leadership, right? You actually demonstrate it, okay? Leadership is more so about being influential and being impactful and literally serving, right, the next person. Leadership is about like consistency and making a impact, making like decisions, right? Having influence and when you are a leader, you also want to ensure that you are trustworthy, right? That people literally are going to trust you in reference to all of the things that you are saying. You want people to start following your ideas. You want people to trust you in everything in your business, your gifts, and all the things that you're doing. So you have to be able and learn how to lead, right? You can lead on your job. You can lead in your business. You can lead in your household, right? You can lead in online spaces. You can lead in your friends, in your friends group. You can lead in your family, right? You can lead in your community. So leading doesn't always necessarily have to be, oh, I'm the big man, right? I'm the boss. I'm the manager. But when it comes into terms of business wise, like, yes, you do want to ensure that you have different type of management skills, but you don't want to look at leadership as being someone that's literally just going to tell and point the finger of telling somebody what to do, right? That is not true and effective leadership. So when you are stepping into your business, when you're stepping into your gifts and your goals and your purpose, look and understand at leadership. How are you expressing yourself for the next person? How are you expressing yourself not only for the next person to receive you, right? But also like, okay, how are they looking at you? Right? Like if you are going to be a leader, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, if you're going to be a mentor, if you're going to be a coach, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to learn and understand that being a leader, you set the example. If you're leading a course, right? If you're leading digital products, you still have to set the example, set the tone for someone to trust you, for somebody to buy your product, for somebody to come into your company, for somebody to do business. You get what I'm saying? With you. So a lot of people are waiting for permission. A lot of people are waiting, for somebody to say, hey, you can lead, for somebody to be like, hey, you are capable enough, right? You have value, you have worth. And we're not waiting for people. You need to know and understand that you have value, right? That you are able to develop this positive leadership when it comes to your business. So, leadership is one of the main skills that I actually talk about in my 9 God-given skills for entrepreneurs, leaders, and mentors to become successful in their business, right? It's called the Believe Your Vision Business Execution Framework. And so in that, I talk about leadership and I talk about how leadership is also taking the initiative, right? It's actually showing up without somebody having to literally tell you what it is to do, right? So let's just say, for instance, you're on your job and I don't know where you're working. You're working at a fast food restaurant, you're working at an office or whatever, and you see something that needs to be done. There's an email, that comes through with, 3 different people on it. Nobody has responded to the email. You are in a restaurant and you see, and not even necessarily when you're working, just even sometimes when you are just in the community, right? You see something on the floor, you see somebody talking and you want to say something positive. All of those things are literally taking leadership. You're not waiting for somebody to tell you, hey, did you respond to that email? Can you go out and do X, Y, and Z? You're not waiting for somebody, if you see trash or something on the floor, to pick it up. And I'm not saying, go around and picking up a whole bunch of trash, but I'm saying, just little small stuff. That's leadership. You're not waiting for somebody to sit up here and tell you what to do. You are taking ownership. You're taking action. You're taking the very first step to do things in your business and or in your community and in your family and in your relationships, right? And leadership is about being that one that is impactful, right? Being the one that literally can just say, hey, don't worry about it. I got it. Right? You want people to look at you in a different way. You want people to trust you. You can show up in many different ways, but also when you do that, you want to ensure that you're showing up consistently. Okay, you want to ensure that you're showing up very disciplined. You want to ensure that you know how to communicate your ideas, right? You want to ensure that you know how to solve these problems. So leadership itself is a full blown skill that a lot of people, we're not taught how to be a leader. We're not taught how to make decisions. We're not taught how to literally just take the initiative, how to turn a negative outcome, and turn around, for in a positive way. We're not taught those things, and 9 times out of 10, most of those things are taught when it comes to different experiences and things that we go through and we learn in our life. But you have to understand that that's what leadership is, right? I don't need to be chosen, right, to lead. I choose to lead. You have to set that example. That's for your family, that's for your kids, that's for your spouse, that's for your friends, that's for your community, that is for your business. Nobody is going to know who you are, or trust you, or trust your products, or trust your services, or buy your products, right? Or all of those things, if one, you're not confident in being a leader, if you're not confident in being stepping into leadership. And when we're talking about leadership, we're also talking about changing the dynamic, driving change. We're talking about setting the vision, right? We're talking about basically adapting. We're talking about growing. All of that is leadership. So please do not think, oh, I'm only a leader because I'm a boss. I'm only a leader because I have my own business. I'm only a leader because I'm a manager. No, because you can have somebody that's a manager, you can have somebody that owns their own business, but again, do they have the skills to be successful? You can have somebody that's a manager or a leader, but how do they talk to people, right? Are they nasty? Are they rude? Or do they help people? Do they coach people? Do they mentor people? So that's why I say you can't look at leadership as a title. Leadership is about influence. It's about how you treat people. It's about how you talk to people, right? It's literally about how you're able to organize things, how you're able to help somebody grow, how you're able to plan certain things when it comes to leadership. So if you haven't already, make sure that you get inside of the B.Y.V, which is Believe Your Vision Community, because inside of that you'll have access to the business execution framework, which is one of the 9 skills that I talk about in reference to basically how to build your business and turn your gifts and your purpose into impact and income. We have to execute that leadership skill because it's very important, and you never know how your leadership skills is literally going to take you to the next level. You never know how your leadership skills is going to impact somebody else. You never know how your leadership skills is potential, right, for the next blessing. That's what leadership is. It's about that mentoring and being consistent and learning sometimes those mistakes, but also learning from them and taking that so you don't make the same mistakes and helping the next person. That is what leadership is. Always remember that leadership, again, is not a title. It is about influence. It's about impact. It is about serving the next person. So if you guys have not already gotten your Believe Your Vision journal, make sure you get that on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. And I'll also put the link in the description to our Believe Your Vision community, which is basically a business hub where we not only talk about influence and impact and purpose and gifts, but more so different business ideas, different business tips. I will be dropping a lot of different business strategies and resources and toolkits for you all, no matter what type of process, within your business are you in. Mainly if you are like a beginning, entrepreneur, you have an idea, you have your business, maybe you already have a couple of ideas, but you just don't know which way to get started, and how to go about starting it or rebranding yourself or getting it back off of the ground. And so that is what that Believe Your Vision business community hub is going to be for. So it's free to get in. Make sure that you get in. So we are doing the 30-day execution challenge now. It's not too late to get in. Just ensure that either you can decide to get caught up for the additional the prior 15 days that we have already done, or you can just start today, right? Just start today with day 15. We're doing it all the way up until June 30th, and it's an execution challenge to literally do one daily action where I give you the action that is going to help you work towards that purpose, towards that goal. Because you can't say, oh, I want to run a business, but you don't have any goals. You can't say, say, oh, I want to run this business, but you don't have the leadership, right? You can't say, oh, I want to run this business, but you're not taking any action towards the very thing that you have literally been praying for. So with the 30-day execution challenge, I'm giving you different steps and allowing you to participate in that and helping one another and motivating you, but literally writing down different things, one action per day for your goal, because it's a journey, right? It's a journey. We can't expect to literally be millionaires and be successful tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? But it's a process, it's a step. So ensure that you get in. And each month I'll do different challenges. For June, start today, June 15th, finish out the rest of the 15 days. So you're already in there when July comes. July is literally going to be here before you know it. It's going to be fast. I'll be giving out some different giveaways, so y'all want to make sure that you are in there, and then that way you'll also be able to connect with me directly. So if y'all have any questions, any specific things tailored directly to your business, it's a more private space where we can dive a little bit deeper into your goals and your dreams and what it is that you want for yourself. So if y'all have any questions, let me know. I'll see you inside the B.Y.V community, and until next time, see ya.